Hi, I'm Kevin with Global Women's Sports Radio, and I'm here with Leah Braatz, three-time College World Series champion, four-time All-American, Arizona Wildcat, 1994 to 1998. And Leah, it's great to be here with you.
It's great to be here with you too, Kevin. It's wonderful to see you.
Same here. So, Leah, before we talk Arizona softball, I know that your daughter and your kids are fantastic athletes. Can you talk about your daughter? I know, and all your kids, but I think your daughter is really a superstar.
Yes, I never have any issues bragging about my Chloe. She's my pride and joy. Love that girl, but all that put aside, Chloe's an amazing athlete. Like, I'm not saying this just because I'm her mother. Like, she's she's a stud. Like, any sport she plays, she excels. She's always been like that. And that's kind of how I was when I was younger. But Chloe played she's a freshman in high school. She played three sports this year. She played soccer, basketball, and softball. And varsity, she was varsity all three and started all three. Basketball is where her heart lies. She's a stud out there on the court. Amazing player. She's quick. She's smart. She's unselfish. She thinks of her teammates on a regular. She's an awesome teammate. But I'd look out for her in the future. She's gonna be something special. Like I said, she got all kinds of awards this year for basketball, but also played soccer, and they had an amazing team. Basketball went to playoffs also, but they had a really great team. They went to playoffs. She started, she was oh my gosh, I don't play soccer. She was one in the front. I can't remember what it's called, but anyways, she was a stud out there on the field too. And then she actually got most improved for the coach. That her teammates, her peers, all picked the awards for their MVP and their all that most improved and stuff. And her peers chose Chloe for the most improved on the soccer team. And then she also played softball and did amazing in softball. Didn't play much softball when she was a kid, just a little bit. Think a little bit too slow paced for her. She always told me it's not fast enough for her. But that's why she loves basketball. But she played center field, and God, all the parents just coming up to me and saying how awesome she is out there. And I'm like, yeah, this is not even her sport. But she was making amazing catches, amazing plays out there. She can cover so much range because she's so fast. She's quick. She's a speed demon out there. That's what her coach called her. She had over 20 stolen bases this season. But she was first team in her conference for softball also. So she just was gifted with amazing athletic talent, but also has what I always say you can't teach, which is like the heart, the desire, the work ethic, the one who's always working hard when nobody's looking, that's what makes that, that kind of what separate the regular athletes from the most elite athletes, or from good to elite. You have to have that desire. And I've coached over the years, and I've done hitting lessons, catching lessons, all that kind of stuff. And I've learned real fast that you can't teach that. You got to want it. But Chloe definitely has it. And, and then there's Xavier. He's my son. He's my 13-year-old. He's in 7th grade, and he's over 6 foot. He's taller than Stad now. Over 6 foot tall, taller than Stad now. Wears a size 13 shoe. He's a beast. He's going to be huge. He's now coming into his body. Like, he's always been kind of awkward because he's so big, but now he's kind of realizing his strength and that, oh man, I am athletic. And so he's dominated in basketball this year, and but wants to get back into football like his dad. So,
well, yeah. And on that note, his dad, your husband Stadford, played football for U of A.
He sure did. He played football at University of Arizona. He's a couple of years younger than me. But yeah, Stadford and his twin brother Bradford played at University of Arizona. So, but Stad's an amazing athlete. He didn't win any national championships, but he's still an amazing athlete.
You got 3, so I'm sure you remind him about that sometimes.
I'll always remind him about that. He doesn't have a problem with it. He's my biggest fan. He's always bragging on me. So
That's good. That's good. So let's talk a little bit about Arizona softball.
yes, sir.
And what I want to know from you, I want to hear you talk about that stellar line of Arizona catchers. You know, we're talking about Jody Miller-Pruitt. We're talking about Stacy Chambers. We're talking about Leah Braatz. You know, of course, Jody Miller-Pruitt, I believe, was your mentor. You came in right behind her. And we're talking about Deja Mulipola. We're talking about Chelsea Goodacre. And of course, we're talking about Charlize Palacios, the current catcher. And I'd love to hear you talk about that long line of stellar Arizona catchers and particularly Palacios.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm very fortunate to come from this long line of great catchers at Arizona. And I was definitely extremely fortunate to come in behind Jody Miller-Pruitt. She was my mentor. I always give her the most credit in helping me get to that next level, you know, helping me become, I was a good catcher, but helping me become that great catcher. You know, I thought when I was coming into Arizona, I was pretty cocky and thought that I was just the best, and I was, I had it all figured out, but I was very humbled when I got to Arizona, realizing that now I'm surrounding by all these other amazing athletes that are just as gifted as I am. And then I also realized that I had a lot to learn. So Jody stepped up, and she really was my coach, my mentor, my friend, all of those things. And like I said, she was one of the greats, and I was lucky enough to learn from her. So I had, when I realized I had some big shoes to fill. So I give Jody much credit in helping make me the player that I became. So and then on to some of the other greats. I have to say though, I know nobody ever really mentions Leticia Pineda. But Letty she was a great catcher too. When she came in as a freshman, she shadowed me. I was trying to teach her the ropes and showing her the way. And then the next year, I wound up pregnant. Hold on, trigger. Sorry, it's my dog. I wound up pregnant, and Letty had to step up and fill my shoes. And man, she did an amazing job. That was 1996, and that they won that championship that year. And she did an amazing job behind the plate. First team All-American, stepped in, was first team All-American as a catcher, and but she's also first team All-American as a first baseman, as a third baseman. So great athlete. But I wanted to mention her because I felt like she was a great catcher too. She only caught 1 year, but man, she was good too. And then of course Stacy Chambers. She has a great bat. She reminds me a lot of myself, of course, lefty style, but she good bat, good behind the plate. Her Deja, of course, I love Deja behind the plate. Last year, loved watching her play so much. She's a great catcher. She's a force to be reckoned with for sure. But I really, 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 really love Charlize Palacios behind the plate. I don't know. I think that one thing she needs to work on is just being confident in herself and knowing that she's nobody better back there. And you gotta have that. You gotta have the attitude. Sorry. You gotta have the attitude behind the plate. You can't show no fear. You can't be scared back there, because all eyes are on you. Your teammates are all eyes on you. They take the lead from you. You're directing traffic out there. You're telling them what to do out there. And I love that about her, is that she's always talking behind there. She's always encouraging her pitcher. I love that about her, because that's so important, to be that leader out there, and to lead the way. Especially, she's been there before. Like, she's been there. Yes, she's in a new she's in a new place now, but and it's a tough position, but I think she's strong back there, and and then I love her bat. She's got an amazing bat. She reminds me of myself. Great catcher, great bat. She's got the full package. Just she just got to make sure she keeps her confidence strong and doesn't get in her head.
Yeah, and I got some of her numbers here. I mean, she started off a little slow, but she bounced back tremendously. I mean, she's got a 333 batting average, 17 home runs, 56 RBIs, 49 hits. And I'm gonna tell you, this is something that impresses me too about Palacios, is she's got 32 walks. Now, nobody wants to walk, especially when you're a big bat. Like all the catchers in Arizona have always had big bats, but that shows her softball IQ and her patience and her discipline.
Right.
Because if she can hang in there on a tough bat and end up with a walk and get on base for her team, to me, that says a lot about her as well.
Oh, I agree. Yes, definitely. She can. She's seeing the ball well. She takes good pitches. That's important as a hitter. Yeah, she's not chasing the pitcher's pitch. She's looking for her pitch. And I mean, it's a good hitter. That's what you want. You want to look for your pitch. You don't want to hit what they want you to hit. You want to hit your pitch.
Yep. And of course, they're out in Columbia for regionals, and they're going to open up on Friday at 1:30 Arizona time against Illinois. So I'm sure you're going to be tuned in.
Oh, definitely. I don't miss these games. No, I'm not good at watching all the during the season and keeping up on everything. But when regionals and the World Series hit, I'm watching all the games. Yes, this is when it gets real exciting.
That's awesome. So, can we talk about the 247 game NCAA winning streak that you were a part of? And this year, Oklahoma tried to threaten it. They got to 240 games before Texas, but that record still stands. And you were a part of that. I mean, that's you. That's Leah Braatz. And you're in the record books not just for that as a teammate on that team, but you're 8th all time in home runs, and you're followed, or you're actually tied with Laura Espinoza, and there's 6 Arizona Wildcats in the top 10. So if you could talk on that and what it means to you to have been a member of that team that still holds that streak.
Yes. Doesn't surprise me that we still hold that record. I mean, I think I really truly always have believed that we were a part of something really, really special back then, because I mean, I don't think there's ever been any team quite like it, even my freshman year. I mean, my freshman year we went 64-3. Just crazy. I mean, I think we mercy rolled Cal State Northridge in the championship game that year too. But that was just the beginning of it, and then it just like a dynasty, I guess it would have said, would have called us back then. We were just amazing, and a team, and I feel blessed that I was even a part of it.
Yeah, and of course, you won back-to-back championships.
Yeah.
And that was part of it, and like I said, Oklahoma got to 240, and then they were beaten. So, you were still out front. They still had 7 games to go to even beat it. But
Right.
I think that's going to stand for a long time.
Yeah, I do too. I don't think there's ever been anything, like I said, I think it was something truly special. I don't think there's ever been anything quite like how we were back then.
Absolutely. And as far as regionals go, with them being out there in Missouri, what do you think is the most important thing? Do you think it's, obviously they've got to execute, but for me, I think if they can stay confident I think
Yeah.
confidence goes a long way. So
Oh, yeah.
so when you enter regionals, kind of, can you talk to me about how they have to transition from the regular season over into postseason?
Well, personally, I don't think, I don't think a lot of things change. I mean, you should always be running on all cylinders, but right about now is when everything should be coming together as a team. Like you hit like I think, like you said, they had, at the beginning of the season, there was, they had some rough spots and, some ups and downs and stuff, but it's been a learning, uh, year, a transitional year, rebuilding year for them. There's a lot of different obstacles that they've encountered, but it's all things that will make them stronger in the end. So I think right now it's just they should be clicking. They should be vibing together. They should be it should be easy, and confidence, like you just said, is for me, confidence is key. Like so much of this game is mental. Uh, if you get in your head at all, if you doubt yourself at all, you're gonna fall apart out there. They really have to believe in themselves. They really have to believe that they belong there. They really have to believe that they can do this. You can't doubt it for a second. And you have to be out there and you have to believe nobody better than us, nobody better than me. Nobody better than me at the plate right now. Nobody better than me throwing this pitch right now. You have to believe that, and they have the tools, but they have to have the confidence. So
Yeah, that's great insight from you. And let me ask you this, because with the tradition and culture of Arizona softball, I mean, Arizona softball is a giant,
yeah.
And do you think players today buy into that still in 2022? Do you think players still buy into, we got to go out there and fight because of our tradition and culture, and we are Arizona softball?
Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, definitely. No, I think that just, has trickled down, from generation to generation. Like you just said, it's a tradition, it's a culture. That's Arizona softball. Yeah, we are a powerhouse. That's how it should be, and we need to always keep that in mind. And it's a tradition, and we're a family. There's so many things to it. It's more than just playing softball. It's we're sisters out there. We have a bond. Coach was always like a father figure to us. But I don't know. I think that you have to have that mindset. You have to be, think we are the best. We are, we are a powerhouse. That is Arizona softball, and we got to go out here and tear it up.
So let's talk about Caitlin Lowe for a minute. So I've got some things written down here that I think are her strengths, and one of the things I really like about her is she's not scared to try different lineups. I've seen her use multiple lineups this season, and she's feeling her way out too. In her first season, and let's just face it, filling in for the legendary your coach Mike Candrea can't be easy.
Yeah, I agree. It can't be easy. She definitely has some big shoes to fill. I agree the same thing. But we also have to keep in mind that coach has been molding her for this for a while now. He's been getting her ready for this. So I think that I believe in coach. We all believe in coach to know that he knows what he's doing out there. So I know he's not going to put somebody in charge that doesn't know what they're doing. And so she knows what she's doing out there. She's just trying to feel it out, trying to find her way. And, like you said, it can't be easy. It's a difficult situation and job that she's, task that she's up to right now. So she's got a lot of people, watching her and maybe criticizing her or saying this, but everybody's a coach. It's easy to be a coach sitting on your couch.
Yeah. And one of the things I noticed is the improvement in Jasmine Perez Chica, as a slapper. she's learning from the best. And
Right.
I think Perez Chica has really come around this season, and she's got that, she's developed that, what I call a pound, more than a slap. She pounds it, and she gets it high over the third baseman's head. And I got to believe that at some point, Caitlin has given her some one-on-one instruction, and it's really awesome to see that. Improved that much.
I think that's the best thing to watch, is to watch the growth, watch them grow and evolve throughout the season, to see them become stronger and, just all around better players. And, like, definitely, I'm sure, and Caitlin has a big part of in her becoming a better slapper. That's probably obvious, but what was I was gonna say something else too. But Caitlin, how long has she been coaching? She's been there for over 12 years, no? Has it been 12 years?
I think 10, somewhere around that neighborhood.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah. 10 to 12, somewhere in there.
So, she's learned, and she, like, just like they're learning from her, she's learned from coach. So it all trickles down, I'm sure he still has a hand in things, and if she has, questions, I'm sure she's going straight to coach and asking for his advice, but for her, it's, she's just trying to find her way to fill out, working with the lineups and stuff, trying to find who belongs where and what's what. So, and it's good she's not afraid. She can't be afraid. She's got to step up. You can't give off that fear, even when you're playing another team. And if you look like, you look rattled and you look like you're fearful, teams feed off of that. And same with, like, as your coach. If your coach looks rattled, the coach looks fearful, then you are going to be fearful. You're going to be rattled. She's got to be a strong leader out there, which I think she does a great job doing, stepping up and being that leader and being a positive role model for those girls. That's important. That's just like coach. Yeah.
So can you talk about how the pressure? So of course, like, say, the regionals, of course, they're going to have some butterflies at the beginning, but can you talk about how a player can convert that nervous energy at the beginning of a game or the beginning of a, say, regional series, how they can convert that into a positive, and how they can spin that stress or pressure around and ride off it and use it to their advantage?
Definitely. I mean, I always felt like, those butterflies, those nerves, when you're going into a championship game or, into regionals championship game, whatever, just going into regionals period, that you have to have those butterflies. You have to have those kind of nerves, but it shouldn't be I'm scared type of butterflies. It shouldn't be, oh, I don't want to go out there, I'm scared. No, it should be, yeah, I got these nerves, I got these butterflies going on in my stomach, but man, I want to get out there and because once you hit the field, the nerves are are prior to the game. Once you hit the field, for me, it always went right out the window. Like I didn't even see all the fans. I didn't hear, people heckling me over there, from the opposite team, or I was able to zone all that stuff out and just step out on the field and play. And I think that we've been doing this for so long at this point, when, once you hit college, you've been doing it for so long that, you learn that those butterflies are not a bad thing. That's just getting you ready. It's just prepping you. You should have those nerves, because that means it means something to you. That means it's important. That means it's, you want this bad, and you don't want to lose it. You don't want to lose that game. You don't want to mess up. You don't want, but when you step on that field, all that just goes out the window and you just play your game. You can't think too much out there. You got all those days of training and all those reps of swinging the bat and throwing the ball and doing whatever. It's muscle memory now. It's just natural. You don't think about it. You think about it in practice. Now you can't think. You just have to let your, trust yourself and let your body do its thing. But trust yourself is important.
That's great insight, and I appreciate you sharing that. So on that note, talking about the preparation and the hard practices and the drilling and all of the preparation that goes into being a champion, can you share with us Mike Candrea's practices, the intensity, the drilling? I mean, I've got to hear from you about Coach Candrea.
Man, I've never. I think I was so lucky and fortunate to play for Coach. He is truly the best. He's truly the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. I mean, I say that with confidence. I know there's nobody else quite like Coach. I know because I've played for a lot of coaches over the years. When I was younger, and then even after I left college and played professional ball, and then I would hold everybody else to his standard after I played for him, which was not a good thing because nobody liked him, can't compare. But his practices are just well tuned, well thought out, difficult sometimes, but and grueling sometimes, but always the best practices. I mean, you get the most out of his practices because like I said, I've seen over the years, like my daughter, coaches she have played for, and just like nobody quite like him at all, but our practices were, you knew what was going to happen every day. We knew what was going to happen, what was going on every day, but never a dull moment. Always moving, never sitting down. Always, like a lot of practices I see a lot of girls just standing around doing a lot of nothing, but he always there's stations, there's this, there's that. You're never just sitting there doing nothing ever, ever, ever. But like clockwork, I mean, every day, we knew 10-minute jog, beginning of practice, stretch, throw, catchers go do this and do that, but like, it's like a well fine-tuned machine. I would have to explain it like that. Like, it just was like, nothing I ever experienced before was quite like that. Like, it was just, like I said, well thought out, and on top of it, I mean, he'd spend hours and hours with us in the batting cage prior to practice with, hey coach, can I come and can you come hit with me an hour before practice? Sure, he'd be out there. Sure. Hour after practice, this, whatever you needed more reps, you needed this, you need like whatever you needed, he's there. He's there to help you through it, so you felt like you're in a slump, he's helped you there to pull you out, and never, like, one thing I do have to say, I always felt like he believed in me. Like, I think that was like so important for me, like, knowing that he had the utmost confidence in me, like, no matter what, if I messed up, no matter what, like, he still believed in me. And I think that no other coach I ever played for was quite like that either. His confidence in you is amazing. You could be like, I could have went like 0 for 10 and he still would have had me batting number 4. I mean, it's just like that goes a long ways. Just him believing in me made me believe in myself too. And also your teammates. It's important for your teammates to lift you up, and that they believe in you also. It goes full circle.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I appreciate you sharing all that insight. So let's talk about uniforms for a minute, because that blue uniform, I don't think, other than the material, I think that's a classic Arizona softball uniform. That's been there forever. Except I think the material changed, but the blues have been there. But let me just ask you, what was your favorite uniform?
You probably won't remember it. I don't know if they have them now, right now, but I mean, back then when I played, I can't remember if it was my freshman or sophomore year, but we got these new uniforms and they were all gray. We all loved the all gray uniforms. They looked on point. They looked nice. We loved them. We wore them with our blue cleats. And I remember, I think we only wore them a couple times, but then we lost in them. And never wore them again. Never. We never got to break them out again. Coach is he was super superstitious. So we never wore those uniforms again, and we never wore the blue cleats again either. We had to wear the red and the white cleats from then on. But was like really, I love those gray uniforms.
So when you lost in that gray uniform, and then that was it, superstitious, and they were out. So then after that, then what would you say your next favorite uniform or uniform combo would be?
I think the all blues. I like the all blues too.
You like the all blues? Yeah, it's just such a classic Arizona softball.
I like the all blues. I think the best. I wasn't a big fan of the red with the white pants, but I like my favorite after the grays was the blues.
Okay, yeah, they kind of took a break a little bit from the blue tops with the white pants, but this year they went back to them a couple of times.
Yeah. I think their pants are different than our pants, where the white pants. They have Nike now. We didn't have Nike back then. We had Reebok. But I like I didn't mind I don't know if we ever wore the blue with top with the white pants. We wore the red top with the white pants. We never wore the blue top with the white pants for some reason. I'm not sure why. But yeah, I didn't like the red with the white very much, but I do like the all blues.
Classic blues.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Well, Leah, I thank you for your time, and it's always great to see you.
It's great to see you too, Kevin. Yep, let's just tune in for the Cats, and let's cheer them on, and let's kick some Illinois butt. I think that we just keep on task and keep them off the bases. I think they're a pretty quick team. They, if I was looking at some of their stuff, but they're fast and scrappy. But I think that we should take it. So
absolutely,
if they come out ready to play, they swinging those bats and they're making the defensive plays. Pitchers are hitting their spots, and just location and moving the ball around and moving speeds and keeping the ball down. Field those ground balls and get those outs, and then get in the dugout and start swinging the bats.
Absolutely, and they've got to stay confident all the way through from beginning to end.
That's important. Confidence is key. They have to be confident. They have to believe that they belong there. They have to, and they do belong there. And like I said, they're really starting to put it together, and this is the time of year to do it.
Absolutely,
set those bats on fire.
Well, I will definitely be tuned in, just like you will be, and bear down.
Bear down, Kevin. Take care.
All right, Leah, take care. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.